Hello, curious people. Today's topic is the role of the PhD supervisor. And let me start from the challenge. I believe that all of you are right now in your PhD because you were looking for a challenge. You are the first one who decided to challenge yourself. You were looking for a challenge, and this was a platform to do that. And this is something that is not very ordinary. This is something that is the road less traveled, and you are here. You are doing this challenge. And what this challenge will actually mean for you is going to be individual. Whether you're going to be challenged by working in the academic system, whether you're going to be challenged to present in front of this older audience and people who are here for a long time, whether you're going to be challenged to move to a different culture and different environment and find your way there, or to learn the scientific method, this is going to be very individual. But there is something for everybody. Because academia is quite broad and you can do a lot of things in your PhD, there is plenty of room for a challenge. And there's going to be one person who is your PhD supervisor who's going to make sure that you get challenged. One way or another, consciously or unconsciously, and willingly or unwillingly. And I can say in most of the cases, this comes from the best intention that this person wants you to grow, ultimately. And maybe this is not the way how you imagined it is going to be, but there you are. And the role of the PhD supervisor is somewhat like a parent. So the parent has a role to make sure that you are ready to go out in the world and you have all the skills that are necessary when you turn 18 to be fully independent. In the same way, the role of the PhD supervisor is to make sure that you get all the skills that are necessary, that once you finish your PhD, you are free to go out in the world and choose the path that you want to go. Whether it is to stay in academia, whether it is to start your own company, whether it is to go work for somebody else in a company, institute, government, whatever your preference is. And, this is the ideal case scenario. Then if we look at parents and kids, there are a lot of things that parents transfer from their own experience, from their own drama to their kids, from the best intentions and to the best of their knowing. And I'm sure that with majority of supervisors, this is also the case. I'm not talking about extreme cases, about people who intentionally tend to do harm. I'm talking about people who do have their best intentions and they have a set of capabilities and a set of limitations, as we all do, to deliver something that we want. So my way of helping you grow is going to be different than your supervisor's way of helping you grow, than your parents' way of helping you grow, than your partner's way of helping you grow, if that is their intention at all. So maybe it is good to check if this is their intention, if this is the intention of your PhD supervisor to help you grow on this journey. And are you ready to grow? I'm sure that you are. I'm sure you have not chosen this because you wanted a steady job. If you wanted a steady job, you would not be here. But you have chosen this because there is something in it that intrigues you in there. There is a bit of mystery, a bit of challenge that you want to take upon. And challenge means that we are going to be in a discomfort. If we want to grow, we will have to pass through a point where we're struggling, where it's not comfortable, we're experiencing a lot of discomfort, unease, until we get on the other side and overcome that challenge. So there is a certain road that we need to take in order to actually grow. There is no growth without it. I'm not preaching here flowers, roses, butterflies, and unicorns. I'm preaching that all of the experience is important. Everything is important. Everything what you're experiencing is normal and is important because you are one healthy human being who has a range of emotions that experiences on a daily basis. And thankfully, really thankfully. And there is no expectation that something has to be beautiful or amazing or at all times. It is going to be beautiful and amazing at times, but it's also going to suck and feel like you want to quit and very uneasy at times. And that is a normal process, any kind of process, any kind of relationship, any kind of situation where you are. It is ever changing because you are also changing yourself. So the role of the PhD supervisor is the one of the challenger. And now, what comes to mind is this victim triangle. So we have somebody who is a challenger, we have somebody who is helping, and we can see ourselves as a victim or as a person who takes upon this challenge. So either we're going to say, my challenger, he's the one to blame, he is the reason why something is not working, and I'm in the victim mode, and I'm going to ask for help, and this helper is just going to confirm that I stay in this position. Or we're going to reverse this and say, hey, this challenge was delivered for me in order to grow. And I have this helper who is going to also be an objective eye and help me get through it. Not tap me on the back and say, yes, everything you're doing is great, because this is absolutely not helpful. And maybe we can take an example of your friends. Probably you have friends that when you go to them, they always approve of what you're doing, no matter what you're doing. So they never bring up that something is off, that something can be done differently. They never challenge you. And then hopefully you have other friends who can tell you the truth, who can tell that sometimes you also mess up. And that's okay, because they also do. We all do. And we are human beings, and we are not perfect, and we are not here to be perfect. Because, as a friend of mine from the PhD told me during the PhD, we are interesting because of our imperfections. This is what makes us unique. This is what makes us interesting. This is what makes us connect ultimately. Because if we all were perfect, it would be boring. So I'm very excited to hear about your imperfections, about your struggles, about your ways to grow, because this is going to be your superpower. All of these challenges that you're going to overcome during the PhD are going to turn into your superpower. And what we can do is that we can hide and escape from them and avoid, or we can take them bit by bit. I'm not saying that you just say all the crazy thing out there, just bring it on. We also have to go step by step. Otherwise, we cannot handle it. Otherwise, of course, we're going to push away. And of course, this is not going to work. And then we're going to say to ourselves, oh, I'm not capable of doing this. And that's not true. You are absolutely capable. I want you to reflect on the capacity that you had when you were in your bachelor studies, for example. Look at all the exams that you passed. Look at the thesis that you passed. Look at your whole life, what was happening during that period, what you went through. And in the beginning, it sounded like too much. It sounded too scary. It sounded like you don't know how you're going to get through it, but you did get through it. And look at where you are now at your PhD. Like, look everything behind you. Look at the bachelor, look at the master, look at the high school, look everything. Look at the capacity you had when you were 15 and look at the capacity you have now. Imagine the capacity that you're going to have when you finish your PhD. I have a big smile because I already imagine how this is going to look like, and it's beautiful. No matter what your challenge is, you are going to have an expanded capacity. And I'm happy for you that you have chosen this road. And I hope that you can see it as well. I hope that you can see everything that you have went through so far. I hope that you can see the road that is in front of you. I hope that you can see it as a challenge and see yourself as a main actor here. Because you are the one who ultimately decides how much of this challenge are you taking upon yourself. Your supervisor is going to be there to ask you uncomfortable questions, to ask you to do things that you have never done before, to put you in situations that you have never been in before on purpose. Because they want you to taste a bit more and more and more and have bite by bite of this cake that is called PhD and academic experience. And you are not going to eat the whole cake all at once, otherwise you will get sick. But you are going to go there step by step. And this is going to be the healthy way of going through it. This is going to help you grow and not collapse. And if you feel like it is too much right now and you're collapsing, maybe take a step back. If you want to dive deeper in all of this, and if you want to find support from the outside, if you want to have the third eye and the third, like observer, somebody who can see everything from the balcony, this is where coaching can really help. This is where individual work one-on-one comes in. And this is where we focus on your challenges. So we have yourself, we have your supervisor who is going to provide challenges, who is going to put you in situations that are uncomfortable. And then you will have the support that is going to help you navigate those challenges. Because ourselves, we see things from one perspective, and oftentimes, it's very important that we exchange this perspective with another person. Whether it's your peer, whether it's your family, whether it's your therapist, coach, whatever works for you, please go out and seek for this support. Because then the challenges are going to be much more fun. I guarantee you that. I hope you see it that way as well. I hope that there is still some fun in there. And yeah, I want you to embrace all that comes with it because we are human beings. There's going to be fun moments. There are going to be less fun moments, sad moments. And it's all part of the experience. It's all part of life. And I don't want to protect you from it. So we can put you under, what comes to mind is Beauty and the Beast, when there is this rose that is under the glass bell. So we can put you under this glass bell and look at you as a very fragile being who cannot handle the outside world. But this is not who you are. You are capable of handling the outside world. You can go back to being inside that bell, but you have the capacity to go out and deal with challenges. And it's important that you have your space where you can go back, but know and have this experience that you have the capacity of dealing with whatever it is outside. And you absolutely have it. Like, look at where you are. Look at everything you have done so far and look at everything that is yet to come. With this, I invite you to book a free discovery call to talk about your challenges, to talk about coaching, what coaching can do for you, how it can support you with the challenges that come. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there.